In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a basement window, and in this case, it's a block foundation. Let's get started. If you're installing the windows in a new construction house, you'll have to pad out using pressure-treated lumber around the edges in order to secure your window to. And you'll know that this new construction house is something we've been building here on the channel for a little while. So with that said, we had these openings built 3 inches taller and 3 inches wider than what we'll need, because after we pad it all the way around, it's going to be the correct rough opening. And these are for 3030 windows, meaning that they're 36 inches wide and 36 inches tall to be exact. And after we frame this out, it's going to be the exact rough opening that we need, because technically it's a little smaller than 3 foot on each side all the way around in order to install them in a rough opening of 36 inches. So after we pad this out around all the edges, it's going to give us our rough opening of 37 inches, which is going to be sufficient to install our window. So we first need to clean out around this opening any loose mortar before we pad it out with the pressure treated lumber. To remove the loose mortar, you can use any type of a scraper. I'm just going to use a Wonder Bar here, which is a pry bar, just to chip off any of the mortar. And you can also use a hammer to just chip this away as well. Just take the claw and scrape across it, or even peck on a little bit with your hammer like so. Whatever it takes to remove it, that's what you got to do. I'm going to cut the bottom and top board first, and this bottom board is going to act as a sill, meaning if water gets in behind it, we need it to slope out, so that way the water drains properly away from the opening. So first we just need to cut the length, and again we're looking at 40 inches for the bottom and 40 inches for the top. So we're going to cut those and install them next. I'm going to be using 2x8 pressure treated lumber, and this works out great for this block foundation because that's roughly the width of the block, so this is ideal. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down the length now. Before placing the boards against the block, I'm going to be using a foam gasket, and this is going to help from deterioration from moisture against the pressure treated material. And it also acts as a bug guard and helps seal around the block as well, right where the board meets it. So I'm going to cut this to length to 40 inches as well. Hold this right here at the edge of the board, just be able to pull my tape measure off of, and cut it with the utility knife real easy. And after your first mark on the board, you'll see where it scored it. We can just trace that. Quick break. If you're watching this because you like to do your own projects, or you're taking on paid jobs, or you're thinking about turning this into real work, I have something that you definitely want to know about. A lot of guys hit a wall once quotes, jobs, and follow-ups start piling up, and that's where Jobber comes in. It's built for one-person shops and small crews that want to stay professional, stay organized, and yet get paid without drowning in admin. I got a link below that you can use to check out Jobber for 14 days free, and you can also use that link to get 20% off your first 6 months. No pressure, just check it out and see if it makes sense for you for where you're headed. The foam gasket goes down first, but we need to mark wherever the thick part of these blocks are, so that way we can place our Tapcons into that area. I'm going to lay the bottom board down and then mark exactly where those areas are. So we have right here, and we have right here, and right here. So now that we have that marked, we're going to lay our gasket down. And because we want a slope on this, this is where we're going to place our shims, and you'll see there's a thick side and a thin side. Obviously, we want the thick side going towards the inside to give us the proper slope. So right here will be good, and we'll place this shim here. All right, we're now going to place our bottom board down. Nice, comfortable, snug fit. And we want to make sure that this board is flush with the outside of the block if there is a thickness difference. All right, we're going to make sure that's down snug. And we got a slight slope now going towards the outside. I'm going to use a wood bit that's slightly larger than the Tapcons we're going to use, and drill right here in the center where the thicker part of the block is. And this is just a pre-drill for the Tapcon. Now I'm going to switch over to a 3/16 masonry bit for the Tapcon. And this is a hammer drill. It's meant to drill through the masonry block easier. Using what are called Tapcons, these are 2.5 inches. It needs to penetrate through the board and into the block. I'm going to drive one in each hole, and don't overdrive these because you could strip out the block. So put it in till it's really snug, but don't overdrive it. There we go, and you'll notice it'll countersink into that pressure treated material relatively easy. I did countersink the head of the Tapcon to be below the surface slightly, so that's something that'll be helpful for the installation of the window. We now need to install the one at the top, and we can just screw this directly to this sill plate using standard exterior screws, just as long as it's ready to be placed in pressure treated lumber. I pre-started the 2 screws, and I just want to make sure, same idea, we're flush to the outside and drive our screws. In order to cut the sides, we must compensate for the slope here. So in order to do that, if you place your speed square right against the block wall and slide it down, you'll see that we got about an 1/8 inch gap here from the board compared to the back. That means we got a decent slope. In case water hits it, it will drain out away from the wall like we mentioned. So we need to get a measurement to our short point and then add just a slight slope there at the bottom. Not that critical because we will be sealing all this, but just to give it a good finished job, we're going to get our measurement now. We're now going to cut this and place them. I'm going to measure over to our length here. And now an easy way to do this, if you put this on here straight, you'll see this is where it's going to hit, but we know this side needs to be a little longer. So if you guesstimate about an 1/8 inch, we know we need to go from this point to this point. So we can simply just take our speed square to do that. Just take it and pivot a little bit right like this. That's going to give you the rough slope. This doesn't have to be perfect like I said, so we're going to go ahead and cut this to length. We can use this slope that's on this board to use for the other side. We just got to pull off it to get our measurement. In order to install the sides, very straightforward. If this is going to be positioned here, we need to place the foam on the back of it. Since we're setting vertical, this is going to want to fall off, obviously trying to stick that on there. So we're just going to use roofing nails, our 1.25 inch, just to tack on the foam before we place it up against the block. I'm now going to place this right up against the block where it is to be installed. When placing the Tapcons on the sides, we don't have any thick spots like we did at the bottom to place our Tapcons. So what we need to do is shoot for the mortar joints. We've learned that placing these in the mortar joints is much stronger than placing it in the thin sides of the block that is flat. So we're going to drive our screws into the mortar joints. And as you just see me do, you can power through the board using the masonry bit, but it's just a little easier to use your wood bit first, then the masonry bit. And you can see the mortar joint holds really well. That looks good. We now have all the framing for this opening ready. We can now work on flashing around the bottom and flashing around the window. Before placing the window in the opening, I must flash the bottom of it, so that way if water gets in behind the window, it does not rot out this pressure treated material. And I know because we're in a basement, it's really not that critical because we have pressure treated material here, unlike the upstairs of the house from the previous video installing those windows, but we're still going to do it. I first need to cut my length in order to have 6 inches go up each side. Here is the 6 inch piece cut to length. Now you do want to make sure that your bottom is pretty clean here and we don't have dust because it won't adhere as well as it could. And also on the back, there's a split tape to where you can pull this side off first, stick it on the inside, then pull the other side off when you're ready to place it on the outside. So we're going to peel off just about 6 inches of the one side first. I'm now going to place this right up the wall on this side. And this stuff is very sticky and it does want to adhere to the gloves as you're working with it. So just keep that in mind. We're going to peel it off and stick it as we go. I like to pull off sections at a time so I don't get ahead of myself. I want to make sure we're nice and tight in the corner. And I can grab a hold of this side that does have the backing on it yet. That looks really nice and tight. We want to make sure we tuck these corners in well. Now for the other side, we're going to pull the tape off and then we're going to flex it into the corners. So I find that works best is get this off. Sometimes you got to use a utility knife to get it started. I'm going to go ahead and peel it all off at one shot for this side. Now I'm going to start in the middle and pull it down and kind of work it out towards the corner like so. I'm now going to grab the corner, the top corner of the tape, and then grab the very corner where it meets down the bottom, and we're going to pull it and stretch it into place. Just like that. Now on the other side, same thing. We're going to grab top corner, grab the middle, then flex it and stretch it into place. And the main place we're trying to protect is this bottom, and we're going to seal up around this outside anyway, so I'll show you that here in a bit. I'm now going to cut a piece of the 4-inch. Using the 4-inch frog tape, we're going to extend the bottom here so that we have total coverage of the very bottom board. With the bottom extended with the 4-inch tape, we're going to use a roller to seal it down really well. And also these corners, we want to tuck them in nice and tight. And they do make a squeegee tool where you can just squeegee across and more or less flattens it out. But I use this roller and it works just fine. Before placing the window in the opening, I'm going to use window and door sealant. And I'm going to go right around where this crack is, seal that first. Then I'm also going to put a bead right here, right on the board, so it seals up against the nailing flange of the window. So again, we're sealing where the concrete block meets the board and a bead on top of the board. And this is a great product, ProSeal Max, for this because it's a high quality sealant. So you want something high quality right where this brick meets the board. So I'd recommend that. And you'll notice I'm not putting any sealant on this bottom. That's because if water gets behind, you need to allow a place for water to come out. So no sealant here at the bottom. And because we need to shim this up, we're placing a 1/2-inch shim in here. That way it's already propped up to the proper distance for our rough opening. We're now going to set the window right in the opening. Now he's going to center it up on the inside. I'm going to use a 4-foot level and check the top and bottom and make sure it's plumb and level and shim it appropriately if we have to. All right, this top shows the bottom can come up some on that corner. So let's check the side, see if it shows the same. And it does. So he's going to place a shim here at this bottom corner to prop this up. And you can also take diagonal measurements of the window too to make sure it's setting square as well. Using 1¼ galvanized nails, I'm going to place a nail here in the bottom to hold the corner and so that center of the opening while he lifts up that side of the shim. As I hold this, he's going to lift up this side and get it shimmed up appropriately. Got it? Let me check it. Now that we have a shim holding it plumb and level, we're going to nail off the nailing flange, and then that's going to secure the window to the opening. Using the 4-inch frog tape, I'm going to tape the sides and then across the top in order to seal around the window. You do not want to start at the top and work down because that's not how you appropriately do it, because water will go in behind the flashing and then it really won't do anything. So you definitely want to make sure the sides first, then the top. And also our bottom's already done like we did before we set the window, so that's already addressed. And when we get up here, we want to make sure that we lift this house wrap up in this case and put the flashing tape on and put the house wrap back down over it. Now we are going to have siding go across here, so just so you know at some point, and then I'm going to show you what to do next. So we want to make sure that we get a piece that's going to come up to the top of the nailing flange and come down right here below the nailing flange, and in fact below where the wood board meets the concrete at the bottom. So right here looks good. So we need to cut 2 pieces to this length. A little trick here, before you peel off the back, place it behind the J-channel of the window, then pull the rest of the plastic off so that way you're not fighting it. I'm now going to pull this house wrap up and we'll put the flashing right here to seal up this area, then put the house wrap back down. And we want this tape to go from this edge of the tape to this edge of the tape. And now I can put the house wrap back down. I'm going to place some nails here to hold it down for now. I'm now going to seal around it using my roller. I'm going to trim the window out with 1x4 PVC board, and its exact measurements is 3.5 wide and 3/4 inches thick. Now it could slide behind here if it was 1/2 inch into the J channel of the window, but this is a little thick to do that. You could try to force it, but you risk breaking the flange, so you don't want to do that. We need to get our measurements here from the top of the window to the bottom, and that's going to be our side measurements first in order to start the trimming process. The exact measurement is 36 3/4 heavy, and this side's the same. So we're going to cut 2 pieces 36 3/4 inch heavy. When cutting the PVC board, I'm using a circular saw that's battery powered because we do not have any power here at this time. Using a miter saw will give you a cleaner cut, and it's a quicker option too if you do have one available with power on site. Now that I got the 2 sides cut, I'm going to use a finish nailer, and these have galvanized nails in them. And I'm going to nail right where the wood is on this framing that we installed to the block. And that's going to hold the trim on. So I'm just going to place about 5 nails on each side to hold it. All right, we're going to hold it right here to the very top of the window. Now you can't nail on the side here obviously because of the block, so that's enough to hold it to the framing. Do the same over here. Again, right at the top of the window, flush. Place the nail about 1 inch over here. We're going to do that down the side of the trim. Make sure we're tight to the window. We now got to get a measurement from this edge of the trim to this edge of the trim. And here you can put a design on this. You can get the measurement to the edge and then put a 22.5 degree if you want. But we're going for a look that's just going to overhang about 1/8 to 1/4 off each side. So we're going to get our measurement across the top, 43 3/4. Now that we have the trim board cut the length, we're going to split the difference so it's the exact center of the window, and we're going to have about 1/8 inch overhang off each side of the side trim. I'm literally just going to butt it up tight to the bottom of the window. And again, we're going to shoot it right here about 1 inch down. And the bottom's now installed. Now for the top piece, it's going to be installed up here. Now something I'm going to have to do in this case is, because we got to install our siding first, we don't want to have to cut around this trim board. So we're just going to tack it into place with 1 trim nail on each side. So once we get to the siding, we'll pull it off, do the siding, and probably have to rip this down to go under the siding. We just got 2 nails holding that on for now. As for finishing up the exterior trim, the next thing I'd want to do is place flashing tape here at the top so that once the siding goes on, it's going to hit that flashing tape in case water goes behind, which it will, and it does not go in behind the window. But I'll also place window and door sealant there first and also down the sides. And I'd recommend clear in a situation like this, because clear is going to blend in with the block much better, or if you have brick, because if you place white here, you're going to see that caulking really well, which is not going to look the best. So until we get the siding on, I cannot finish this up. So once we get there, again, we'll pop this off, put the siding on, then place the rest of the trim board securely and then caulk the sides. But for now, that's how you finish up the exterior. To finish up the inside, we're going to spray foam around the window. And also, whenever we get the framing done for the walls that are going to go up against this block wall, that's when we'll have to extend these jambs further out to come flush with our drywall, so then we can trim the outside or run quarter bead around the framing. So either way is going to be fine. So we'll finish that up later in the video whenever we frame this basement. But for the inside, that's essentially all there is to finishing it. If you'd like to see how I installed this window in a new construction house, check out this video. It'll help you out.